No more shenanigans.
You're on?
Just about. It's loading.
Okay, let me know.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Oh, Tony.
Hey,
Hey, Tony.
Tony?
how you doing?
Good, and you?
Doing fine.
Is your hair getting whiter?
I think it is.
My beard is, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Dean, are you on?
Oh, you can call it to order.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you on phone or?
I'm on my computer. I don't know why you can't see me. You don't want to see me.
It's okay, Dean. We don't want to see you.
No, no.
Okay, let's call this meeting to order. This is a first for us. This is the annual meeting of the Montezuma County Hospital District, virtual. So first thing we need to do is ask Fred if he'd call roll.
Brad Wade,
Here.
Dave Matthews,
Here.
Fred DeWitt, yes, I'm here. Gay LaPuck,
Here.
thank you. Bill Thompson,
Here.
Jay Harrell,
Here.
Rob Dobry.
Here.
And Keenan Lovett, our attorney.
Here.
Glad to see everyone. We all made it. That's great. Bridget, Keenan, thank you for getting this set up.
Bridget.
It's Bridget. Okay, thanks, Bridget. Or Lindsay.
Lindsay was a huge help too.
Okay. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda that people would like to make?
There's only one little change I got on that, down at the bottom of the discussion items. The F should be an S, should be SDA, Sam, not Fred. I didn't get to it quick enough to get it changed.
Under discussion items?
Yes. Discussion item has got FDA grants. It should be SDA.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Thank you, Fred. Okay. Do you know if we have any public on, Bridget?
Checking here. It's a little bit delayed, so whenever we say stuff, it's about 10 seconds behind us. So hang tight just a sec.
Okay.
Not that I see at this time, but what I thought I would do, Brad, is screenshot those to Keenan to facilitate if they come through.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Before we do anything with the election or something, I just wanted to give the board an update that we had a person very interested. We thought we were going to get her on. Her name was Julia Buff. Had a long conversation with her last night, and she is very interested. She works in the financial field right now with a company called Hoya, and she has to actually get her supervisor's permission before she can be on a public board or an elected board. And so she has to go through that process. And then the second thing that she wanted us to know is that she is going through several audits right now, or she's doing the audits, and it's an extremely busy time for her. So she wasn't going to be able to join us tonight even, but she still is interested. So with my going off, I just want the board to realize that we're going to not have a seventh board member, and it's up to the board to decide whether or not they want to go ahead and start searching and seeking out to fill my position. And I believe I'm only a 1-year position, because my position I have just am leaving is a 2-year. So that person would come into a 2-year, but right, Fred, is next year it's only a 1-year.
Tell them what it is, Keenan.
1.
Okay, be just for 1
Thank
year.
you.
Thank you. Okay, so anyway, there's still interest on her part, but it's going to be a month or two before she could join the board. It's worth, I think she'd be an excellent board member. I'm very impressed with her. She's got some background at the hospital at South, plus the financial background. She's young. She's a woman. It would be really good, I think, for our board. But I'm going to let the board make that decision. And maybe we can talk about that after we go ahead and do the election of officers. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and ask for nominations for president.
This is Bill. I will nominate Dean.
Are there further nominations? Dean has been nominated for president. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a nomination and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Congratulations, Dean.
I appreciate that, I guess.
And Ian, can I go ahead and turn the meeting over to Dean?
Yes.
Don't we have more election of officers? Do we have more election of officers?
Okay, we'll go ahead and get a nomination for vice president. Do I hear?
Bill Thompson.
Say it again.
Bill Thompson.
Bill Thompson. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Bill's been motioned and seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? Secretary Treasurer, we have a nomination for that.
Rob Dobry.
Rob
Second.
Dobie. We have a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Second, this is Bill.
Good. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Looks like we have a full slate of officers.
Thank
Dean,
you.
turning the meeting over to you.
Okay, Keenan, what do we do for swearing in?
Right now, we need to, I can do that. And so, Mr. Harrell had self-nominated himself for the board position that he is filling, and there was no opposition to that. Nobody else filed or ran in the election, so the election was therefore canceled. And so, James, if I can get you to raise your right hand. Jay, can you hear me?
I hear you.
You raising your right hand? There you go. Do you swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, and the laws of the State of Colorado, and will faithfully perform the duties of the office of Director of the Montezuma County Hospital District upon which you are about to enter to the best of your ability?
I will.
Jay, I'll have you swing by tomorrow and just sign this oath, and we'll be good to go.
Be glad to see you.
Good to see you. I don't think we have any other new board members. I think we're good to go.
All right, I guess we'll move on with SHS report. We have a financial report.
Yeah, Bridget,
Rick,
if
are
you'll
you on?
populate it on the screen.
There it goes.
Okay. If you'll page back up, that'd be great. There you go. Yeah, I'll walk you guys through this narrative that we did for March. Again, strong cash collections of $5 million for March. Our operating cash did decrease by 38,000 from February. Combined investments, this was the month that the stock market really took a punch in the mouth, and it was a market loss of $255,000. And that was market fears. Thank God it rebounded somewhat in April. Our gross AR did decrease by about 927,000. Part of that's cash collections, and part of that is about the last third of the month due to some volume declines and reductions in services based on some of the government stipulations regarding what we would call not emergent procedures. A lot of folks use the term elective procedures. We don't like the term elective. Most people don't elect to go have a colonoscopy. Most people don't elect to go have a hernia repair. Most people don't elect to go have other diagnostic testing. Some of these are maintenance related procedures or procedures to either improve their quality of life or get them back. So we're going to call them volume declines. And our net did decrease by about 300,000, and non-patient AR, physician loans and things like that did decrease by 84,000. Inventory slightly increased by about 5. We did do our inventory in April, and we're going to go ahead and book those entries in May. We're just finalizing that. But we did see some elevated prices with protective personal equipment and some of our pharmacy things that were going to be hard to find. We did buy that. Prepaid expenses did decrease by $23,000, and that's due to amortization of maintenance-related contracts, dues, association fees, and other such things. Long-term investments, that was pretty flat. They're in fairly conservative investments. Fixed assets did decrease by about 262,000. We did have some assets that went into use in the month of March, and most of those assets related to the surgery beds that we had purchased through Stryker. Any questions on the balance sheet right now? Okay. From liabilities, accounts payable did increase by about 168,000. Our payroll liabilities, payroll accruals increased by 158. Current liabilities did decrease by 128,000 due to a reduction in our due to and health insurance. As you guys know, we're self-insured of 28,000. Then our cost report adjustment that we're booking for 2020, and that's 100,000, and that's related to Medicare bad debt and Medicaid coinsurance estimates. The revenue over expense, we did show a net loss of $1 million, and our year-to-date loss was 1.2. Our EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, depreciation, amortization, 477,000. However, year-to-date EBITDA did decline to 299,000. So we did see COVID impact us in March, and it did impact us in April as well. Bridget, if you'll scroll up a little bit. Or a page down.
Page down? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Again, our income statement, again, total patient revenue was below budget by about 1.4 million. Again, we did see this, like I said, the last 10 days of the month. We were shutting things down, getting prepared to be more or less a COVID hospital. Gross revenue comes down, the net patient revenue is going to go below budget. That it yielded basically about a $592,000 lower than budget for net revenue and behind prior year. Our provider salaries did come in below budget by about $68,000, and our staff salaries showed below budget by $50,000. I cannot stress enough that we are not furloughing anybody. We have not laid anybody off due to COVID. We did participate in the PPP loan that we worked through with Vectra Bank. So we are we're trying to maintain a good, safe facility to be a resource to the community in this pandemic. So again, our salaries, we're not cutting anybody. We're utilizing folks to maybe have some different job duties, such as counting inventory, such as maybe doing housekeeping, such as maybe being transport techs. Our contract labor, that totaled about $166K, and that's Tony, Karen, myself, Kim, who was a medical staff consultant before Deborah Herman got here. And then we have a couple of contract nurses, a lab tech, and some security. Our benefits were slightly above budget by about $41,000. As you guys know, we're self-insured. And Bridget, if you'll page down. Any questions so far?
You're doing a
Okay.
good job, Rick.
Thanks, Fred. Medical specialist fees were $4,000 above budget, and that's based on some of the providers serving on committees, and then some of the call fees that we had. We're down in OB-GYN. We're in the process of trying to find one, so we did pay some locum tenens for that, and we do have some locum tenens that are coming in through the ED, working our ED. Purchase services were $86,000 above budget. Upon review of that, $30,000 was related to travel. That was reclassed in April, and you'll see significant pickup from that. Supplies were slightly again above budget, and that varies because we've had an increased demand on PPE and drugs. So some of our drug prices increased about 5 to 10%, and then the PPE for masks and gloves increased, in hand sanitizer for 2 to 5 times when you compare it to pre-COVID pricing. So we are purchasing stuff for our staff to ensure that they're safe. And our current plan is to basically to have about a 5-month inventory supply on hand once we can kind of build that up, hopefully starting in June, at the end of June. So because we think we're going to have a second wave of COVID this fall/winter. Provider recruitment, and that's where that was above budget, 19,000. Part of that was due to a surgeon that we recruited, an orthopod, Braden Jones. And then we do have some retained searches for a surgeon and an obstetrician gynecologist. Interest expense, again, that's based on our debt. It's $151,000. Depreciation was $373,000, and those are calculated based on the amortization schedules we have and the AHA, American Hospital Association guidelines for depreciation. Again, we appreciate the sales tax of $110,000 that helped us make part of our bond payment. Bridget, if you'll page down. Okay. Again, this is basically, I'm waiting for everything to populate. Again, this is our income statement that kind of highlights how we based our narrative. You guys can see our various line item expenses, our contractual allowances, which are the difference between what we charge and what we get paid. Other revenue houses things, and it's mostly dietary related revenue. That was about $16,000. I think about 14 of that was dietary. And then we had some other things in there. So this is how everything shows. And again, I can't stress enough, basically where our investment value changed. Our interest income basically was a pickup of $5,000. And then our interest value change was a loss of $260,000, and that netted us down to about $255,000. We did have a couple of small grants in there, and that's where we got our information. Any questions on the income statement? Bridget, you'll page down. These are highlights of our balance sheet, which shows us this month, last month, and prior year, and how we are. I can tell you some positive stuff in April. We did see some stimulus payments. We did again. We talked about participating in the payroll protection plan loan, and we also took advantage of Medicare advance payment funding. That gives you about 125% of what your estimated Medicare payments would have been last year. We're booking that as a liability, We're booking the PPP as a liability until the auditors. That's coming in April. So we do have some decent funding. So our cash did go up in April. Bridget, if you'll page down. One of the things we've been doing, we've been paying a lot of our local vendors first. So we're trying to pay them as timely as possible because we know a lot of our local folks are hurting. This Zion debt service account, this basically shows what is paid by the hospital versus what is paid through the sales tax funding. Any questions on that? Okay, Bridget, if you'll page down again. This is our statement of this is how we track our cash and how things come in. We're at about 41.4 days cash on hand. Again, our covenant says that we had to be at 40 days as of December 31st, 2019. Our goal for June is 48 days. We will hit that goal as of June 30th. Again, some of the stimulus funding and the PPP funding, we'll work through that pretty well. Any questions on days cash on hand? Bridget, if you'll page down again. These are our statistics, and you can see that we're off a little bit from budget. Again, we did see a huge drop off in ED visits, things like that. We did see a drop off in patient days. Our census dropped again last third of the month, where we were looking at about 9.5 patients and even 10 patients last year, down to 9. And then our clinic visits dropped off slightly. We're still running some outside clinics, some walk-in clinic stuff. We're still doing some telemed. Keep on, Bridget. Here's our ratios that show where we are with respect to meeting the bond covenants, and we're right there where we need to be. You can see the trending arrows that are positive coming from last year, and so we're in line with our debt covenants. And since it's end of March, we have to submit our quarterly ratios to you guys. So Keenan, that's for you guys to take a look at. Bridget, if you'll page it down again. This is our statement of cash flows. And that's basically shows what comes in and what goes out. Page down, Bridget, if you will. And this is our scorecard basically on our business office elements. So our days unbilled, we were tracking about 6.5 days. It rounded up to 7. But again, our rolling 12 months of cash collection is percent of net revenue. It's 101%. So are we allowing things appropriately? Fiscal year to date, we're only 3 months in. We're collecting on an average of slightly under 101%. And our AR days are fine. So just letting you guys know where we are, and basically, unless y'all have any questions, leave anything. I'm done. If you guys have any questions, happy to answer them.
Okay, if no questions, we'll go to, go ahead, Fred.
So it looks pretty darn good for what we've been going through.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Are we still have somebody in Mancus that 1 day a week?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that's true, Fred. I think we still are doing that.
Good. It's needed because people have asked about it and they want to make, they have trouble getting into town. Then it's worked out pretty darn good. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Dean.
Go, okay. If there's no more questions, what do we have on the grants update?
From a grants update standpoint, we still have something in the neighborhood of about $50,000 for the that's committed to our chiller, our RTU project. We did see a $25,000 grant. We did see a $25,000 grant related to COVID-19 for helping us out for treating patients over 50. We have Megan Little, Bridget and I were on a conference yesterday and a couple other days. So we're still pursuing that. I think 50 may be the cap construction projects, because right now everybody's looking, most of the grants that we're getting are either helping us with COVID or in the process of working towards telehealth, which we've expanded our capabilities, and Tony may want to comment on those, our telehealth expansion.
Yeah, that's actually been very helpful. Otherwise, our visits would have been down a whole lot more than they are. But, we're doing probably about 80% of our volume right now through telehealth, and that will probably continue for a little while. We're not sure what the reimbursement is going to look like when all this is over for that, but I'm actually hopeful that some of that's going to stick around, because it's really allowed us to pick up a lot of visits. We basically don't have a waiting list for primary care anymore. We've been able to work through that, so it's been a big advantage to us.
Tony, do you charge for those visual visits?
Yes, sir.
We do. Yeah, we charge for them just like a regular visit, and we're actually at this point reimbursed just like a regular visit from Medicare or Medicaid.
Good deal.
Jay, most of our plans have adopted telehealth, and they adopted it fairly quickly following the CMS guidelines.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, if nothing else, Rick and Tony, where are we with Peak Alliance and insurance thing?
Go ahead, Rick.
Thank you, Tony. We have submitted a rate schedule to Peak, so there's some give and take with our friends Tamara, Claire, and Monique. So they have some discussions. One of the things that we're looking at doing is approaching, maybe doing some direct contracting initially with our county, our schools, for Dolores County, for Montezuma County, as well as our city. So that's our plan right now. The thing that we see about Peak is with Peak, what we're trying to do is for the services that we provide here, we'd like our folks to stay within county, and especially with some of the governor's travel restrictions and things like that. So, and when we're saying stay here, we're talking about our local providers, whether it's, the hospital, our esteemed physician practitioners, SWIM, Dr. Barkhurst, a lot of the local, dentists, chiropractors, all shoot and match. We'd like to see folks get their care here. So that's why we want to work with the local entities, the city, the county, the school boards, and so forth to kind of be able to provide that care on a direct contracting basis. Because basically what we see with Peak is more going to try to drive things to Durango or La Plata County.
All right.
Did I say that well, Tony?
You did well. Yes, thank you.
Any questions on the Peak Alliance for Rick or Tony? Okay, Fred, where are we with our financials? Actually, Rob, where are we with financials? Sorry, old habits.
All right. Well, since this is my first one, I think I will just do a quick once over. So our net unrestricted cash is 2.369 million. And the last sales tax that we sent out was 148,650. I don't have the newest numbers on the sales tax from Fred yet, but I will have those ahead of the next meeting.
I've got her. I've got that, Rob.
Okay, I'll let Fred one last time give the numbers for that.
I got this picked up yesterday. County sales tax was 96,625.34. The one health service tax was 15,192.46. The other health service tax was 1,151.39. That's a total of 112,969.19. It's a little bit lower, but not that bad. We're still over $100,000, which is pretty darn good for. And every time when we've been by those marijuana places, it's amazing how the parking lots look. I go down 10 days.
Yes, sir. Fred, any
And they do
truth to the
practice
rumor you're
social
opening a
distancing.
donut shop?
What's that, Rick?
Any truth to the rumor you're opening up a donut shop near one of the marijuana establishments?
Why not?
Exactly.
You might as well, Rick.
Gotcha.
You're still there, Rob.
I'm still here.
Okay.
That's all the reporting I think that we have to do on the financials. And if everybody's okay, I can move on to a quick foundation update.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, we haven't met, but we've been sending some emails. I do want to give a quick thanks to Dr. Aiken and Jay Wood, who were able to wrangle a lot of local donors to support the lab analyzer, some donations for that. And I'm not going to thank anyone because I know some people didn't want to be recognized, and I don't know who does and who doesn't, but we will in time be recognizing the donors who would like to be in an appropriate fashion. That's all I have on the foundation side.
Okay. Facilities. I don't have a whole lot. There's not a whole lot been going on. Maybe Tony or Rick, you can talk about the what's been going on, if anything, there at the hospital. Is anything going on for your facility side?
Rob is on the call as well if you want. Sorry, Rob.
Oh, sorry, Rob.
Yeah, I'll let Rob cover it. I mean, we have had a couple of little glitches along the way that we've had to address, but Rob, if you want to speak to that, that's good.
Yeah, so we've had the one accident, and we're still waiting on the insurance to contact us and get the police report. They had a lady that basically tried to drive off the top parking level down into the lobby area. We didn't brace around. That whole entire wall's got to get replaced, and the railings got to get replaced. Other than that, we've made a couple of repairs in the boiler room, a couple of valves that failed, and we ended up doing quite a bit of extensive work because the more we tried to repair it, the more it fell apart. But all of that got finally straightened out. Other than that, we'll continue to move forward for the OB remodel. The MRI chiller, we did some exploratory for the MRI chiller and make some adjustments on the roof to get that supported. And other than that, that's pretty much it.
Ralph, did you have anything to add on facilities?
Very little. As as I've told you all before, right now, RTU1 is scheduled to take place over the Labor Day weekend. It would start on Wednesday evening, the 2nd of September. And we would hope to be back up, turn the facility back over to SHS the following Monday, which would be Labor Day. Obviously, there's going to be additional cost to do this over a holiday weekend. I don't know what that number will be yet. None has got some information from their subs, but they haven't given me anything yet. I know they're looking at it very closely to try and make sure that they're satisfied it's all legitimate. The MRI chiller, and I couldn't hear Rob very well. MRI chiller and the OB remodel could both be done in June. We're trying to find out where the chiller actually is. Talked to Nunn today, and they were talking to the supplier. They said it should be delivered in early June, but they're not real sure when. So
Here we go.
we're you know, all of that is dependent on how comfortable SHS is with us putting people in either the new patient wing or possibly, you know, in the existing, in the whole part of the building. So we'll defer to them as to whether, you know, they think June, they feel like June is still reasonable or not. So that's all I have.
Okay, and as far as the Montezuma irrigation, Keenan, have you heard anything from if that organization had a meeting allowing us to get some water? You're still muted, Keenan. Not that that's a bad thing for, not that that's a bad thing for another, but.
Sorry, I didn't realize you guys actually wanted to hear my advice. I did reach back out to Keith, and I know that I did receive a communication in early March, back when before the last meeting we were trying to get this coordinated. I know that him and Jim, I don't know if I say his last name right, I believe it's Laddish.
It's Leitch.
Okay, Leitch.
Yeah. Yep.
He had sent me a text message saying that he was on board and actually given the district some recommendations on where they could bear through and maybe save some costs. But I shot Keith an email earlier this week to see if they'd had that meeting, and he said that no, they have not had that meeting. I think his his traveling back got a little bit messed up and delayed with things going on, and they have not had that.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured. We'd like to keep moving forward on that as we can, save SHS some money.
Yeah.
Get green. Okay. If not, is there anything else that anybody has on facilities?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the clinic in Mancus.
Okay.
I had a call from Dale Stritzel starting about the middle of March. And he was asking if he could be deferred. And I talked to Brad, and Brad put it out to everybody and they on his payments. And everybody decided to go ahead and do that. And then about 3 weeks ago, I got a call from him about the fifth time that he applied for that special monies. I can't remember what all of this is. And he's getting it. So what he asked me, he says, it's going to hurt if I start paying you. And I said, what do you mean? I mean, you wanted to be deferred. He said, well, I got this, blah, blah, blah. So what he's doing now to make up the difference between, he came up with 75% of what the money was he was allocated. And by him going back and paying the $800 a month rent payment puts him at right at 100%. That way he doesn't have to repay that money back. So we've already gotten one check. And I don't know if it's in this packet or not. Haven't seen it yet. So he's going to be paying by the month from now on, from what I understand.
Very good.
So that's what I've got on that.
Okay. Anybody have anything else on facilities? All right. I guess we'll move on to approval of minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes?
I expect
Hearing
that you're
none.
waiting on me, but I haven't seen the minutes, so I can't say.
Didn't go get yours?
No, I didn't, I don't have internet access, and so I'm flying blind here.
That's understandable.
We can push the approval of the minutes, Gail, till you have a chance to look at them if you'd prefer.
No. Just go ahead and approve them. That's okay. I'll abstain because I haven't seen them, but the rest of you can have seen them, so you can go ahead and approve them. That's fine.
I'll make
Okay,
a motion to approve them.
Yeah.
I didn't see any changes when I went over things.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion on the minutes? Not, then I'll ask for a motion or ask for approval or ask for a vote. All three. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Rob, it's back to you for bills.
Okay, so for the invoices, I did have one quick question for Sarah. It looks like in Ralph's bill, there's a stray 48609 on the list of the invoice list. And I just wanted to see if that was another bill that didn't get included with the packet or if I'm missing it.
You said 48609?
Yeah, it's just in the list of the bills that you put together for us. So on the Ralph on Wagner project management line, it's got the 118137, but then right after that it has 48609, all kind of in one line. And I just I didn't see the bill that corresponded with that, but I wanted to see if that was something that I needed to
That
adjust.
should have been a typo or something. I guess when mine printed out, it didn't show that, so that's weird. It should just be 1181.37.
Okay. So we have bills from Heidi Trainer's office, our CPA, that's $3,060 even. Kelly Cabe office, that's $1,477 even. Valentine Communications is $72.16. Wagner Project Management is $1181.37. Davis Partnership, there are two bills, $8,140.06 and $17,037.96, and that totals $25,178.02. And the grant that we, the SHS SBA grant for PPE stuff, that's $884.92 for a total of $31,853.47.
Okay, I would move for a motion to approve the bills.
I'll move.
This is Bill. I'll second.
Any more discussion on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, bills get paid. That's always a good thing. I guess we'll move on to the FDA grants. I'm not sure who's doing that.
I am.
Okay,
That first grant that Rob just mentioned, $884.92, was one of that's an ongoing grant that we're entitled to get to every year, and we never did touch it from 2000. I think it was 2010 until now, and it was worth $889. So we worked with Bridget. Brad worked with Bridget. I worked with Bridget. We got about 30 pages on this thing until finally we worked out back and forth with this gal, Catherine, up there. Also, I got a email, and I don't know who else got it. And then let me read part of it to you. It says that to help districts cope with this COVID-19, the pool will open up the current 4.8 million in allocated safety and loss prevention grant funds to 100% reimbursement for COVID-19 response expenses incurred by the district. And then it says, visit our website, what it is, specific reimbursement. Now, this is over and above the one which we just, that 884.92. And Bridget and I've talked about that, and I don't know where you're at on that, hon.
The last conversation I had with Caitlin or Catherine, I don't remember, was that 884 is all we are eligible to apply for, whether it's PPE or anything else.
That's it. We can't go for any more.
That's what she said.
Because this is totally different. I'm not disputing you. Don't misunderstand me.
To follow up, just let me know if you want to call her or what we should do.
I'll call her just for the heck of it and see what the deal is. Because this one, to me, this one came in before the last one did. It was in March 30th. So I'll see what I can find out and then go from there. Because it doesn't sound to me like it's the same one. Because especially when it comes in showing what they're going to pay for.
Okay. I did CC you on those, but I'll forward that email again so you have it.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, hon. Appreciate that.
Hey, Fred, and if you want us to help you or be available for that call, that we're happy to do it.
Thanks, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Very much appreciated from everybody. Now I got one dumb question. Am I still on this board now or not?
What was that, Fred? I didn't hear that.
Nothing else has changed.
What do you mean
Just
that
your
changed?
title.
My term limit's up.
What did Mrs. DeWitt say?
Pardon?
What did Mrs. DeWitt say?
I don't know.
Normally,
I'm looking at Keenan and he's studying something.
Yeah,
Normally-
well, Fred, what I need to look at is whether or not, I don't know if that's going to apply if you're appointed. Pardon me?
If you're appointed, you can be appointed 1,000 times.
That's what I'm saying. I think your term limited based off your last term when you were elected, but I think that they can still appoint you to fill a vacancy at this point.
I was appointed in 2010 for 4 years. Or not appointed, I was elected, excuse me. And since 14 or 15, I've been appointed all the way down. So that's where I'm just asking.
Yeah. So and I will confirm it, but yes, I think you can be appointed.
Yeah. And I do need to talk to you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I've got to go over something. I'm going to try and work out and get a conference call between you and Rob and myself.
Okay.
On some of these emails I've been getting, the ones from the state and one some other ones, and see how we want to handle those.
Okay. Well, what are they, just briefly, what are they regarding?
Well, one of them is those two health services emails I get every month from the state. That's the marijuana tax that I think you get them, and I get them around the 5th of the month, but it's not deposited until around 10 days later. So we're a month behind on the amounts that we have. I just picked up that yesterday, that was in on the 15th of last month, which goes against next month.
Okay.
So we gotta either switch it around so everybody's on the right page of that, or just cancel me out, and Rob, then you can get it from Keenan for the amounts.
I think it'd be helpful if they can send it to me directly as well, just so then I have it and can report in the section.
Well, it'd be good if you got it.
Yeah.
Because that way you'll have those too. The other one for the main tax, I pick up at the bank. I pick it up at City Market branch at Vectra. Because they get it in between the 8th and the 10th, depending on how it falls on the weekends.
Yeah, and I've picked that up while you were out for a month. I picked that up, so I know how to pick that one up.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great to get the other
All right, so then go ahead, Keenan, on that one. I talked to Kelly about this sometime back, and he says, "Oh, you just let us know what you're gonna what blah blah," and you guys need to call them because you did it the first time, and let them know to put Rob on it and take me off of it.
Yeah, we just need to get a hold of the state, and that's easy. We can do that.
We also, on the bank, Rob, when we get settled in there, you, Rob, Dean, myself, and Bill, and Brad are on the being able to sign checks and take care of their monies. Brad needs to come off and then do whatever else you want to do from that point. Because everything we do takes two signatures. And the only I usually have done it through Tracy.
Yeah, and normally what they like to see there when you're going to change signatories is just a little board resolution.
Right.
So if the board wants to just go ahead and deal with that real quick right now, we can do the resolution and get things done with the bank. Would be my advice instead of waiting to do that till next month.
I think that'd be a good idea. That way we've got it done. And if we're just going to take Brad off and not put anybody else on it, I think everything's okay.
Do we need a motion for that, Keenan, or do we just need to, how do we do that?
So Fred, who did you say on it right now? It was you, Brad?
Bill.
And Bill?
Bill is on it.
Bill on there?
And Rob Bilbrey's on it.
I think all you need is a motion to remove Brad and we'll get that to the bank.
Yeah.
And then do I need to go sign Fred? Am I on that signatory or not?
You did once before, Dean. I'm not sure about that. That's something we're gonna have to find out from Tracy. There was a comment made. That's a possibility, but they didn't know yet. And I don't know if it's term
I
limit.
say you make a motion then to add Dean and to remove Brad. If Dean's already on it, no big deal.
That's fine.
I'll make a motion to add Dean and remove Brad from the signing authority on the bank.
Second.
Any more discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
There's probably going to be some other things down the line, but I'm not sure right now as we go along, Rob.
Anything else, Fred?
We're good.
Okay. Where are we with PPE and lab donations? Does anybody know where we are with that or where we are with that?
That's basically what we're talking about. I was talking about right there.
Okay.
So I'll call that. I think it's Caitlin, or I can't remember what it is, but I know I've talked to her in the past, and so has Bridget. We'll see if we can get it straightened out. We'll let you know.
Hey, Dean, can I drop in here?
Yeah.
That was something that when Dr. Aiken and Tony, we're approaching the county and so forth to make a donation to SHS. And we had talked about, Fred, I think you'd even talked about as much as 25,000 that we wanted to support. So this is something separate, Fred.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't remember that about Brad, but thank you.
Yeah,
I remember it.
It sounds like the county has that side covered, but we had talked about maybe making that donation go towards the actual cost of the test. But I don't know if that's what the hospital is looking for. I'm not sure where the hospital is with testing and the cost of that. I know you have you've got the money for the equipment, but I think there's a cost for testing also. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. And you're right, we do have the money for the equipment. We actually are supposed to get the unit. Actually, we're supposed to get it today. I'd not heard if it actually arrived today or not. And we're getting 250 tests. But yeah, there is an ongoing cost of the testing. We're actually for the COVID testing only charging $5, which actually does not cover our cost for it. So it certainly would be helpful if there were some monies available to help offset some of that cost, because that's going to be ongoing, no doubt about it.
Maybe we should see how those costs come in before we make any donation dollar amounts. And that way we can help if we need to cover some of those costs at a later date once you start testing. I don't know, how does that sound, Tony?
I am fine with that.
Okay.
Rick had mentioned too, we've gotten quite a bit in grant money right now, or in different forms of money. And so I would be fine if we wanted to delay that a little bit and see maybe a little bit later date, there would be some help available.
Okay. Okay. Anything more on the lab donations or the equipment? Any questions? Does everybody know what that is?
Dean, thank you guys for the offer. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You bet. Whatever we can do to help out on that. I'm sure it'll get worse before it gets better. So,
yeah.
Okay, moving on. Leaving Valentine. What's happening with that? Are we done with them, or what are we thinking?
We had talked about going and having our website become a page of SHS's website. I don't have any update specifically on that. I think Bridget would have anything if we have any.
I'm probably the holdup, because I think I could probably design a page at least as good as what you have, but I have not done it yet. I can make that a focus this month.
Well, and we had talked about sometime this summer, so you're not behind on that yet anyway.
Well, when this kind of delayed everything, I got to thinking to myself that I could probably put something together that gives all the same information, make it fairly appealing, click to links that it needs to click to, and get people what they need to see for you.
And I do just want to confirm, we do intend to keep our URL, and it'll just link back to a page. Is that correct?
Yes, you've prepaid for 5 years on GoDaddy, so there's no reason not to have it route to the new one using the old link if we need to.
Okay.
Okay. Something like that's being taken care of. Is there anything else on any other discussion items?
Dean, this is Bill. Just a
Yes,
question. Tony, was Jeff Ganesh still an employee when he passed away?
I'm sorry, who was that?
Jeff Ganesh. He worked in the biotech department.
No, not.
Biomed.
Biomed. It was Biomed.
Yeah.
Bridget, she might be able to answer that better than I am.
No.
Okay, well, just saw his obituary on her Tel's page and was just curious.
I don't think he'd worked for us in about maybe 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, I think it has been a
Oh,
while.
really?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
That's who it was.
All right, if there's nothing else on that, Keenan, attorney report?
I don't have anything specific. Looking back through the minutes, I didn't see anything that we necessarily needed to report on, and I think we got all the election stuff done. And I'll get the resolution regarding the bank account done, and Fred and Rob and I will talk. But unless there's any specific questions, that's my report.
Yeah, if I could ask Keenan, what's going on with the insurance company and the wall out there? Anything at all? I'm sorry, did you hear my question, Keenan?
Yeah, I guess I'm not too sure what wall we're talking about. The wall that was ran into at the hospital?
Yes, yes.
I don't know if I have been involved in that at all. I'm sorry. I'm not too sure, but I can sure find out.
Kelly was involved with it. I don't know what happened, how far it went.
Who was involved?
Kelly.
I did not. I was not aware of that. I will talk to him tomorrow, and I will get right to you. I'll send the board an email in the morning.
That's a pretty big mess they got there too. Did a good job on the wall. So why nobody got hurt?
Do we know if that's a claim that's going to go against our insurance, or will that go against SHS? I mean, have we figured out whose insurance that's going to go against yet?
I can answer that.
Okay.
It appears from my knowledge, and I'm sort of secondary, but they were insured. And so when we've had issues like this before, obviously every claim is different. Our insurance company will help facilitate any conversations with their insurance company to make sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and it should be on them, depending on how the police report reads. I would assume. So, and we have insurance for that location, so.
Okay. Ralph, have we contacted anybody for the repairs yet, or are we waiting still for responses from insurance companies?
Dean, my only involvement in it has been Rob called me the morning it happened, and I went over and took some pictures and asked Rob to flag the thing off so that people couldn't park up above it. But then I just basically turned it over to Kelly. I sent the pictures to Kelly and the copy of the insurance proof of insurance that Rob had gotten from the woman that had the accident. And that's the last I've heard. That's why I was curious. I hadn't heard anything in the last week. So
Generally speaking, if that police report comes out that the person who ran into it was negligent in their actions, then it will be on their insurance.
Okay.
I'll follow up with Rob Owens, and
I'll follow up with Kelly tomorrow and shoot an email out to the board.
All right, that sounds good. Yes.
I have a question. I've been out in Siberia here for a long time. Did they get the trim piece on the front of the hospital repaired?
That's a good question. That's a good question, Jay. Do we know if that got over on the MOB, that high corner piece you're talking about, Jay?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been repaired or not.
Rob, do you have any
Yeah.
info on that from Sunglass?
Yeah, Sunglass came out last week and they did do the repairs on it.
Okay.
Did they figure out what caused it, Rob?
No, they didn't elaborate on the cause or what the manufacturer said.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have anything else for this evening's meeting?
No, I'll make a motion to adjourn. If
Second.
no.
Third.
All those approved? All those approved?
Aye.
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 Any not approved?
Gee,
All right.
we're out of it.
Well, have a good evening and we'll see you next month. I don't know what we're doing, if we're going to do it again or meet, but I guess we'll find out. So,
Got you on again, Fred, for another year?
We'll find out by next month. After I have a good discussion with Keenan.
Okay.
Brad, are you still on the board for
Nope.
now, or is this your?
I'm off the board now.
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, I just wanted to say thanks. I appreciated everything. I haven't been on as long as everybody else, but thanks for being our board president.
Thank
I
you.
hope we
yeah,
don't,
thanks, Brad. A lot.
don't want to lose contact, Brad.
No, we'll stay in contact.
Thanks, Brad. It's been great.
Yes, definitely.
What
What
a,
a good team, guys.
Everybody be safe.
I've been on this board, like you know, almost 20 years. And with the people that we've got on there right now, we have done more and done a lot with each other on our board and also with SHS. It's something that took a long time to get there, and we made it. And it just took a lot of perseverance and a lot of work by every person that's on it, on both sides. And Rick. It's a rough road to hoe. We all know that, but we're working in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's true. Well said, Fred.
All righty, take care, guys. We'll see you all later.
I'm gonna interrupt just a minute. I want to thank Bridget particularly.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, for teaching me how to put my big boy pants on. No comment on that one. And, Sarah, you've been great. We appreciate you and the entire hospital staff. Boy, what a new appreciation I have for the medical groups. It's been quite a journey, and Bill got me on this board and asked me to be a part of it when I was playing racquetball with him, and I had no clue what I was going to get into, but it's been a lot of fun. And I have a special appreciation for McCabe's office, Keenan, Kelly, and particularly for Ralph. Ralph, you did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank
Tony,
you.
hang in there. You got new commissioners coming, so.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Brad. I pass on to say, I'm sorry, we've got a issue developing with the sheriff's office I just learned about, so I was on the phone about that one, but it's a challenging time, and thank you for your support, Brad. From the time I've been here, I've really appreciated it, and certainly going to miss you.
Y'all take care.
All right.
Take care,
Thank you,
y'all.
Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad.
Tony, are you educated